Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's Wednesday, and I already told you earlier, I like Wednesday. Who cannot like Wednesday? What's wrong with Wednesday? It's a good day. Anyhow, show them how to get in touch with the show right there. You can always get in touch with us right there. Email, phone number, social media ways to follow the show. Now, what am I getting at? What am I getting at? What am I getting at? Okay, here we go. Hey, let's play the clip because we're kind of done with the John McCain. Well, I haven't done with John McCain. Let's play the actual clip from yesterday, the president saying what he said, and then we'll move on from that. But I think it's worth playing. Let's run it.
Why are you attacking Senator John McCain 7 months after his death?
I'm very unhappy that he didn't repeal and replace Obamacare. As you know, he campaigned on repealing and replacing Obamacare for years, and then he got to a vote and he said thumbs down, and our country would have saved $1 trillion and we would have had great health care. So he campaigned. He told us hours before that he was going to repeal and replace, and then for some reason, I think I understand the reason, he ended up going thumbs up. And frankly, had we even known that, I think we would have gotten a vote because we could have gotten somebody else. So I think that's disgraceful. Plus, there are other things. I was never a fan of John McCain, and I never will be. I never will be.
All right, let me explain that briefly. Put any picture, put Trump and McCain. I don't know what number it is. Just find something there. But let me explain that to you briefly, okay? What they do, and this is the deep state, and is, you know, we watched in 2 years Mitch McConnell just stab our president in the back. But what they do is usually your party, because he's a Republican, you got a Republican majority in the Senate, and at this time you have the House. Usually what the majority leader does is he whips up the votes. That's why they have the whip. All right, won't go into that. They whip up the votes, and Mitch McConnell says, I've got 51 votes. I need 51. I've got 51 votes. Usually they don't bring something to the floor because your party does not want the embarrassment. A lot of times you'll say, why don't they just vote on it and show us the Republicans that did not support it? Well, sometimes that's good. I mean, I think here with the national emergency, it was good to bring it up. And why did Senator McCain bring it up knowing he didn't have the votes? That's a question in itself. But anyhow, I think it was good they brought it up, and I think it's good that we were able to see the 12 senators that did not support the president, okay? But when it's your party, and especially Obamacare, as big as that is, you got to remember, every single Republican campaigned on it. Every one. All 535 members of Congress, because the Senate and the House of Representatives make Congress. So all 435, not all Republicans, let me back that up, Republicans. All Republicans in the House of Representatives ran saying they would repeal Obamacare. At one time, they did. Every senator that ran said they would repeal. Republican, not a one did not a one. Every one of them said they would. And this guy here. But he despised Trump. Now, if you think he despised Trump, and you had all these people coming to his funeral. I said this was over, but all these people coming to his funeral, and George W. and all the tears and the he despised the man enough. So here's what they do. Mitch McConnell calls the White House and says, Mr. President, we have the votes. Now, this is Obamacare. This is not some small bill, okay? And usually what happens when you don't have the votes, something this big, you don't bring it up. You don't bring it up. You don't vote on it because you don't want the embarrassment. You don't want people to see that your party did not have unity to be able to pass it. You say, we don't have the votes yet. So you call up and you say, Mr. President, we have the votes. Okay, we're going to bring it to the floor. Mr. President said, we have McCain? Yes, we have McCain. We've got him. Okay. So we got what? So we don't have to go put pressure or say anything to anybody else. Nope. We got our votes. Okay. So that night, in the middle of the night, they're all voting, and they save his for last. And he goes up there like this to the American people, and he goes, now, he votes no because he despises that man there. Did Mitch McConnell know that night that this guy was going to stick his thumb in the president's eye and the American people because of his hate for one man? And then we're going to sob all over his casket because he voted against our country? And he voted against the king. You realize this man alone, I got to get off this. I've never been a fan and never will be. You realize this guy alone single-handedly broke every Republican's promise. You see, he had in the palm of his hand every promise every Republican made to repeal Obamacare. There's a lot of argument out there, and I know what you're going to say. Well, it wasn't really repealing Obamacare, and you're making too much out of it. It would not have been quite the repeal you're saying it is. But this jackass, this piece of garbage right here on my screen, every time I hear 2018, well, in 2018, you know, they sent the president a clear message. No, they didn't. You realize in 2018, Republicans could not go home and say, I fulfilled my promise. Let me tell you something, voters, and I'm getting off the track here, but voters don't want to hear you voted to repeal. Now, we like that, but if you make a promise and you go up there and the bill goes to the floor and you vote yes, and then you go home and say, it did not pass, but I voted yes, we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We appreciate, boom, we want to hear it passed. We want to hear the promise made was fulfilled entirely. It's done. Now, you can't put that right on the back of your single congressman or senator, but at the same time, that's what the voter wants. So the voters in the United States of America, ever since Obama became president and Nancy Pelosi put the mega Fred Flintstone-sized gavel down and said, here's Obamacare, and Plugs Biden said, this is a big effing deal. Remember that? To the president. Ever since that day, all right? Republicans have campaigned on repealing it. Everyone in the House of Representatives, every senator. This guy alone stuck his finger in the eye of the entire Republican Party. You want to tell me he didn't know what he was doing? You want me to tell you that he didn't know when he put a thumbs down that every single Republican now could not go on the Senate or the House in 2018 and campaign and say, we repealed Obamacare, we kept a promise? You realize what this guy did to the Republican Party? You realize I feel very strongly that there's a lot where this guy is concerned is the reason Nancy Pelosi is again Speaker of the House. You not think he's happy in death? No. Yes, he's happy in death. Nancy's there. I'm telling you, this guy was a Joe Scarborough favorite on MSNBC. But anyhow, I'm going to leave that alone. I promise I'm going to get out. But do you not realize this guy right here, that in 2018, just think if in 2018, all of this BS the media is telling you is a litmus test on Donald Trump. Let me tell you, when Donald Trump runs in 2020, okay, he will be his own litmus test. Own. Period. And 2018, it was not him. It was the Republicans that went home to campaign that could not say, I promised you I would repeal Obamacare. And now you will have truly pre-existing conditions. We've got these things are getting ready to get all, your premium's going to come down. We're going to do this. You could not campaign on nothing. This guy right here ended the biggest issue you campaigned on and promised you would repeal. I've never been a fan of John McCain, and I never will be a fan of John McCain. And Megan, you just cry your little chubby fat ass off today on The View. I'm so sorry. That's wrong. That's wrong. I don't want you to choke on a hamburger. I don't. I'm sorry, Megan. Megan, will you ever forgive me? Now go on The View, where serious news is made, with Joy Behar and what's the black lady's name? Whoopity. Go on there today and cry and say, you'll never be the man my daddy is. And then Abby Huntsman will say, you go, girl. Take us to break. I got to get off of this. I got to get on the serious stuff, and I'm losing time.